What's up, everybody? Don't get bored, third video. This is the hardest part of trading, stock selection in my opinion. To find the right stock, because most of them are gonna fall apart, tank, crash, everything you've been in has not been working, that kind of thing. So, real quick, this is a review of FinViz. You just go to finviz.com. I'm not gonna do a screen share on this because it's really simple, but I've got a zillion videos that you've already seen with the screener and how to do the technique. And if you haven't, just look around in the membership area and you'll find it. So after you screen it, where you do stocks over $7, so plus 7, you sort it, the change column, this is the change. We'll signify this with delta, which means change. And basically you'll have the biggest winners like plus 25% move here, etc. And they get all the way down to like plus 2%, whatever. So the point is, this is the hardest part. So let me show you where your eyeballs go first. So once you have your screener on and going and set up on FinViz, and you've got them all sorted out here by gainer to loser, first go over here to the market cap. And you'll see some stocks that are like 10 billion, 8 billion, 30 billion. Stay far away from those. If you can get to a market cap that has less than 2 billion, it'll be like 180 million, 456 million, 9 billion, 2 billion, 1.4 billion, 8 million. Guys, the lower this number, the faster the stock will move. So this one would be my preference of choice. Then, 8 million would be number one preference because it's so low. This one would be my other preference of choice. Remember, all these stocks are over $7. So the 9.2 billion, 10 billion, whatever it is that you're seeing up here, 20 billion, these don't move very quickly. So these are much safer. So if you want very safe and slow moving stocks, those are it. If you want something that'll make you some money, these are it. So the little ones. That's where my eyeballs first go when I'm scanning. The industries cannot be biotech. Okay? It cannot be biotech. So if you scan down here, you'll see a biotech one here or wherever. You'll want to eliminate those. You're not going to want to trade those. Okay? So you'll want to eliminate those just mentally. Okay? And you'll just not want to trade biotechs. Whatever else is left is getting very few now. There's very few now that you've eliminated using this process. Under 2 billion, no biotechs, I use this. And then the next thing that you do in industry is that you use your eyeballs to see maybe, and I'm making this up, but maybe telecommunications. Oops, I can't spell. It's just one L. Telecommunications shows up here, here, and here. Or maybe, trucking shows up here, trucking. Well, what's that mean? That means the industry is starting to move. So you've got a lot of other stocks supporting that one move. Does that make sense? So basically, the more of one thing that you see in this area that's not biotech might mean that for that day or that week, that has a lot of momentum. The next step after that, when you start to see that, you'll be like, okay, maybe I'll pick and you want to go with the one that has the largest gain. So don't go down here and pick telecommunication. Pick the one that's up here. If there's a lot of them showing, pick the one up here. Well, wait. Now you got to come over here to the stock, and the next thing I want you to do, and this helps you do everything, to eliminate down to one stock. This is the key. You're going to look through this list, and you're going to see if you recognize a name brand that is not one of the billion-dollar ones, that's a small market cap. See if you recognize one of those stocks. So for example, I would recognize Con, which is I think it's a retail store. So if I ended up recognizing Con out of every name here, I didn't know any other name, but I've traded this or I've seen it before, or I know what they do, or like Fitbit. Anybody know what Fitbit is, or you know what I mean? Like, you would know what the name is if you look at it. So that name brand or company that you understand, okay, right here under the stock, if you see one or two that you understand and they are in the smaller market cap and they're not biotech and they're up in the upper half of the page where everything's moving, boom, you just found your one stock to focus on. And it is literally that simple to do that. So go through the screening process that I give you in the other video in the membership area. Everybody should have this. I don't care if you've seen it on my advertisement on YouTube. You can look up FinViz, scan Ben Brenneman if you need to on YouTube. But you first do that scan, then you come over here and use your eyeballs and go through each column and just find the one or two stocks that remain that you recognize that match the rest of the criteria, and boom, just like that, that is how you find stocks that won't fall apart on you. It's kind of ingenious. You know, think about this. There are 1,700 results usually when I do something, and I found one stock that works, and I can find one stock every day that works, or every 3 days. You just put all of the universe of stocks into your control, and you were able to narrow it down. So what I want you to do is take notes on this. Like, you guys see this? Just take notes on this. So make sure you're looking at this. So again, just to recap, you ran the previous screener. You stay in the top half of these that are moving. Your change is from plus to plus all the way. This would be 14%. This would be, and don't shy away from the big movers. If something is up 48%, don't shy away from it. Maybe you have to wait a day, for a pullback or something. Make sure the market caps are under 2 billion. Ignore all the multi-billion-dollar ones. Make sure you're not looking at biotechs. Make sure you're not looking at any industry that is weird to you, like pills or, I don't even know what a weird industry would be. And then over here, just immediately look for something that you recognize and you will be in business. Now remember the patterns, like if you hover over the stock on FinViz, one thing that you might be missing is the pattern that pops up. You want to just make sure, it's starting to go up. And that is it, guys. It is literally that simple. And if that's not genius, I don't know what is. So basically you're eliminating a lot of noise and you're making things really simple for yourself. And again, like I talk about in the webinars and things like that, you want to remain focused on those one or two things that you find. Does that make sense? So basically what it looks like, I've drawn this before, is that you've got a triangle here, and everything that you add from the screener, $7 stocks to $30, you add non-ETFs, you can select that under the industry column. You add volume, not current, current volume, not average volume, volume greater than 200K. Make sure you follow this, don't do your own thing. Sort the change, American only stocks, USA stocks only, American, and you can, boom, and then sort by change. Click the change button twice, so it goes from positive to minus. So you got green, plus 45%, all the way down to plus 2%. Does that make sense on the first page? And then here, you're going to look at market cap, less than 2 billion. You're going to look at the industry, eliminate biotech. You're going to look at the ticker symbol and see if you recognize something. And it's going to pop out a big mover that has a solid chart that's going up. And all of a sudden you've only got literally maybe 1 to 2 stocks. Absolutely genius. Nobody's ever taught you something this simple. This is mind-blowing. This is worth 10 grand right here. This will save you so much money. It's insane. So I'm going to call this the platinum funnel. Platinum. That's a very expensive metal. It's worth thousands and thousands of dollars because you're able to save time and money. These stocks won't fall apart on you, the name brands. So then guess what? You can even increase your probabilities after you take this selection, you can increase your probabilities by adding chart studies, by adding volume studies, by adding, the fact that you're not going to hold through earnings and all this other stuff. You can add more and more probabilities that your stock will go up. Isn't that cool? Like, this is really simple. So guys, there you go. Boom. Stock selection. And the next thing we're going to talk about are a couple things on pattern, candlesticks, that kind of thing. All right, guys. Thanks.